12:05 this afternoon, the Osceola County Sheriff's Office received a 911 call of a possible burglary in progress at the address of 102 Blackpool Way in Point Siena. As deputies responded to the scene, additional information was received that the person entering the home possibly was armed with a firearm. As deputies were arriving on scene on Berkshire Drive, deputies encountered a male on the roadway who matched the description of the suspect that was given. The male noticed deputies approaching him, and as they went to make contact with him, the male had a gun in his hand and pointed the gun at himself and caused a self-inflicted gunshot wound. The male was pronounced deceased at the scene. Deputies continued the investigation and responded to the home where the call originated from. Inside the home, they found a female with an apparent gunshot wound who was also pronounced deceased at the scene. The male has been identified as Mr. Kai Douglas Williams, who is 20 years of age, and the female inside the residence has been identified as Larissa Barros, who is 18 years of age and also a senior due to graduate in a few weeks from Liberty High School here in Point Siena. The couple has an estranged relationship, dating relationship. Mr. Williams had an active injunction to stay away from the victim. And at this time, the scene is an active investigation. We ask the public to, if you do not need to be in the area, to stay away from the area so investigators can finish processing the scene. And if there's any questions, I can take those now.
Did it seem like anything from inside the home was missing, or did this just seem to be he broke into the house, allegedly killed her, and then ran away?
It is still very early in this kind of investigation. There's a lot of work to be done, a lot of forensics work to be done. I do not have information as far as the details inside the home at this time.
And can you describe the 911 phone call that was made? Is it presumably from the now deceased 18-year-old?
I know it was from a female. I do not know exactly who the suspect was that called 911, but that is also part of the investigation, and it will be of use of evidence as well.
And have you guys reported to this home before? I know he had an injunction against him. Have you guys been out to this home for prior incidents before?
I don't have information as far as responding to the house itself, but I know that there have been law enforcement incidents between the two individuals, yes.
Is an injunction the same thing as a restraining order?
It's domestic violence injunction, yes. It is the same thing as a restraining order, yes.
In describing, obviously this is seems to be, a domestic violence incident. Describe, how disturbing these type of cases are and kind of the emotion behind it.
Well, in this kind of case, it's a prime example that especially for our young people who are engaging in early relationships in their lives, dating violence, domestic violence is very real and it's very dangerous. And we urge our young people and all people who are engaged in a domestic violence relationship or any relationship where red flags may come up. There's help for you out there. There's resources not only from the sheriff's office but throughout the county and in the private sector that can help relationships that are strained that may lead into violence. And we urge our young people to seek out this help. This is a terrible tragedy to lose two young people, especially a high school girl who's about to graduate in just a few weeks. It's just horrible.
And was the young man in school too?
He's currently not in school, but he was, I confirmed with the school department, he was a student at Liberty previously, but not currently.
And do you know if the 18-year-old, does she have a child?
I don't have information if she has a child now.
Was there anybody else inside the home when you all arrived?
I don't have that information as well either. It's still, that's all information detectives definitely will be looking at. Any witnesses or anything like that, yes.
I understand there was a school on lockdown. Has that been lifted?
That is not correct. There was no school placed on lockdown.
But parents weren't allowed, were they not allowed to be walked out? There was something.
There was, because of the scene and how wide it was due to the incident on the roadway, there was some blockage on Berkshire and Coa, which affected the traffic coming into the school. So that's what we alerted, that there was going to be a traffic pattern change for buses and parents to come in, but the school itself was never put on lockdown.
Now, obviously, you guys have spoken with the 18-year-old's family, I'm assuming. Can you describe how they're doing at this time?
I can't speak for them, but it's I know it's very difficult for them right now. Yes. Anything else?
Is there anything like with the restraining order that would be initiated by her, correct?
Yes.
Is that how it works?
Well, I can tell you that he's been arrested twice within the last year or so, which is part of the restraining order for violating the restraining order, and he was arrested for aggravated stalking. I'm sorry, which she was the victim of. This is all within the last year.
So arrested twice for violating the restraining order.
No, arrested twice, once for violating the restraining order and once for the aggravated stalking.
Is there anything else you could just say to like prevent something like this in the future? Any other message?
I just urge, like I said, there's help out there for you, and even if I know domestic situations are very difficult, but I urge even family and friends, if they know of a loved one that is involved in such a situation, reach out for help. Whether there's law enforcement, whether it's any county services, DCF, whether there is a faith-based organization. There's so much help out there. This kind of tragedy can be prevented, and we urge our community to reach out and use those resources.